The classroom economy is one way we teach students how an economy works. In the YE classroom, we bring markets to life by implementing a classroom economy. And one of the keys of that is using our own currency. This is a YE dollar, and what it represents is only as valuable as what it can buy. And you, as a classroom teacher, have the ability to give it more value or less value based on the things that you can offer at auction to your students. How they earn this money is up to you. In the beginning of your class experience, you can pay them for showing up to class on time. You can pay them for asking questions, whether they're asking good questions or not. You can pay them for answering questions, correct or incorrect answers. The goal is to get this green paper into their hands so that they can spend it on these items at a regular interval of auctions. That allows them to engage with their subjective value about what they want out of the classroom experience. Do they want to read books? If so, then they can buy them from you at auction. Do they just want a snack? Or, in a lot of classrooms, these hot Cheetos are like gold. I once sold a bag of hot Cheetos for $276. As you get further advanced and engage with the other activities that we have for you, you can begin to use bonds. And what this little white piece of paper does is it represents a YE dollar. And so you can have students trading these to show each other that they see value in what they're being offered through the market-based activity. And then when that activity is done, you give them $1, 1 for 1, or however you'd like to do it, 1 for 2, 1 for 5, your choice. But the idea is that you're giving the students real experience with real money in your classroom that helps them to make better decisions, to identify what is a good opportunity and how to create win-win. Right now, in education, there's a real push for financial literacy. And one of the values of the Youth Entrepreneurs experience is that they get real, first-hand experience with actual money and managing it, earning it, deciding what to do with it. So this classroom economy helps to connect your students and their experience in the YE classroom with the real world. An auction is a turnkey marketplace that allows your students to set the prices for the items that they're buying from you using the YE currency. It allows them to engage in their own sound judgment and what an opportunity for value for them is using the money that they've earned. You might be asking yourself, how frequently should I have an auction? Well, we suggest that you do it regularly. The idea is that the students can predict when it's going to happen so that they can use their sound judgment to decide whether they want to spend the money on the short-term gain or the long-term gain. For example, you might let them know that at the end of every month, you'll have an auction for items like we have at the table here: books, drinks, snacks. You might also let them know that you're planning to have an auction at the end of the semester or the 9 weeks for something a little more substantial. That way they're engaging their sound judgment and evaluating the opportunity and deciding for themselves what win-win looks like. Another great time to have an auction is after you play an activity, such as Pit or Boneyard or Paper Airplanes, like you see in other videos. These activities help them to gain wealth, along with understanding of how markets work. So once they've used those activities to gain wealth, it's a great time to have an auction and let them engage in the foundational values of sound judgment and opportunity. Remember, you're on the entrepreneurial journey with your students. So when you go to the store to buy auction items, remember, they're your customer in this. So you may not be a purchaser of hot fries or Kickstart Mountain Dew or these various items that I've got with me today. Think about what your students value. What's going to drive them to engage in the auction because they can buy those items using their YE currency. Auctions are a great chance for you to reflect on the Youth Entrepreneurs foundational values and how your students are changing in their understanding and applying them to their worldview. Use these auctions to identify teaching opportunities for the next activities that you plan to do in your classroom. For more on our classroom economy and variations to auctions, check out our downloadable resources. It's the auction that gives the currency value. The currency is only worth what it can buy, and you can address the subjective value of each of your students and engage them in the activities by auctioning off a variety of items.
Notice that I asked the students what they wanted to auction off first. I'm trying to get an idea of who's trying to buy what and how I can get them to compete. That gets them engaging their sound judgment and thinking about the opportunity at hand. They're thinking short-term versus long-term gains. Also, as a teacher, you're always out of time, so bundling items together can make it go by quickly and get the students bidding after what they want. Be sure to have regular and frequent auctions, and as the year goes on, you'll get a better feel for what the students really want. And remember, as they build wealth, the prices should go up, so be sure to talk about inflation and economics as a factor of that.